Are your kitchen and bathroom remodels a little overdue? Well, now's your chance to call First Response Contracting. John Sellers will take care of you. 484-256-7136. They do residential and commercial, and they're licensed and insured. Give them a call at 484-256-7136. You ready? All right.
From real estate
Affects the market as a whole, which then sometimes will affect the tenant.
Right. It'll come in.
to real life.
We all learn in different ways. If you think about it, Wayne Dyer might not attract everybody.
And everything in between.
Mission was really to help people just to reach their full potential.
The Brad Weiman Show. And now, your host, Brad Weiman.
All right, we are back. I can't believe it's Thursday again. It's unbelievable. It goes quick. Hugo, it goes quick.
Yes, it is.
It does go really fast. So we're back here. This is our monthly. I should probably get my phone off the table since it's like ringing away. Monthly, we are here with Pete Heim, and we talk about, of course, real estate.
Yeah.
How you doing, Pete?
Except before the pre-show. But it's
Yeah, he was snoring when we started to start the show. Like, you need some sleep or
no,
what?
it was a water buffalo.
It was a water buffalo. Okay. More of that
It
migration.
sounds very similar.
The migration?
actually.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, no, welcome
Hi,
back.
How you doing, bro?
A month went by. It's crazy.
Dude, we blinked.
Where does it go?
Gosh,
That's
it went
right.
quick.
It's unbelievable. All right, so let's jump into. We're going to do local first. We're going to do some differences here between local and national because there is a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that difference is actually starting to become even more noticeable
It is.
because of what we're seeing on the news, and you hear these averages and things like that. And then we look around at our market and go, that's not what we're seeing. So tell me what we have going on locally for the last month or whatever.
Well, I did the first January, February, March. Actually, it was the first 4 months. I'm sorry.
Okay.
'Cause, so I was able. I have the data for the first 4 months, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
sure.
We're in May now. I can officially say that we're in May, right?
Yeah, we're in May.
First 4 months versus the last 4 months. First 4 months of 24.
Yeah.
And the inventory is up. Last year at this time, it was 326 listings on the market.
Wow.
And this morning, there was
was it?
380.
Whoa.
Yeah, I thought
And it's been
I
around-
knew you'd be excited about that.
Oh,
In fact,
man.
Brad's going to post on that just like in a minute.
You know what's funny? I went to look it up and my ADHD kicked in and forgot. Totally forgot.
You walked into that room and
No, I just like sat down like I got to do the inventory, and then all of a sudden I was like, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I saw a squirrel or something.
yeah,
I
right,
don't
squirrel.
know. Yeah. So no, that's incredible.
Yeah, so 380 today.
Wow,
Last
heading in
year-
the right
Last year
direction.
at this time it was 326.
And I've been checking it. It's been in 360s.
It has been in the 360s. Yeah.
Wow.
It's eking up.
And you know what I'm starting to see? I'm starting to see there was a house in Rosewood Hills in our area here that has been on the market for 90 days.
In Rosewood Hills.
Yeah.
90 days.
90 days it's been on the market. That is long, but
Price point.
it's overpriced.
Yeah. Price point. Yeah.
Overpriced. So, it just goes to show that you can overprice a house in any market.
Yeah. Sorry if you're that owner.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mention the address. I just said Rosewood Hills.
Sorry
Of course,
for
there's only
listening.
one house for sale right now.
I think you know who you are.
Yeah. They're like, it's me.
It's me. Oh, my
shoot.
gosh.
Well, your house is overpriced.
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
I don't know what to
Talk
tell
to your
you.
realtor.
Yeah, exactly. No,
But everything else is the same,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I thought days on market would be more.
no,
It was
it's not.
exactly the same. It's 28.
Yeah.
Absorption rate, same. It was 1.1.
Yeah.
Now we're 1. It was 1 last time. It was 1.1 this time.
Well, obviously, with
That's
the
the
inventory
same.
going up, that there's a reason.
Yeah.
That means that some houses are staying on the market.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean that we're actually getting more houses on the market.
Right.
It could mean that we have less that are going off the market.
Right.
Because that's what it stacks it up. It starts to stack it.
Right.
So,
It's
which is
stacking,
interesting because we're in May.
Right.
It's like that's interesting.
It is. Right.
But we'll see. And rates, and it is a little telling though too, because there for a little bit the rates had jumped back up again. So
They did.
now they're back down again.
And they're going to start. It's going to
Yeah,
start going crazy.
the rates are going to be like a heartbeat, I think, all year.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just going to be that way.
Yeah.
So get used to it.
But price was up 5.7%.
Yep, and that's pretty much what I was seeing
That's pretty much where it falls for Berks County.
for Berks County.
Berks
Yeah,
County
exactly.
won't.
So let's go into. We were talking before, and I got some stats now.
Yeah, cool.
Do you want to go into your stats?
No,
for a little?
go.
I just
I
want to go
wanna
into
talk about your
stats.
stuff. Yours is nicer.
The stuff that was interesting is we keep saying how it's such a different market that we have between here and other states, and I wanted to really pinpoint which states are different. and
That's
what is
good.
changing the average along in the country.
That's good.
Florida, Texas, and Louisiana. And you guessed pretty much why right away when I said them before we went on the air.
Yeah.
And it was insurance because of those places get hit by hurricanes.
They got hammered too.
Texas,
Oh my gosh.
gets a lot of that too, and Florida.
Yeah.
So those are the things there. The other thing is people were moving to Florida for a while during the pandemic and a little bit after the pandemic because it was easy to live there.
Yeah.
There was no there wasn't hardly any guidelines at all. And so that people wanted to go there. It was considered the free state. There was more freedom there at that moment.
Yep.
So people were moving to Florida. Now that has leveled off because we're all back to freedom everywhere else.
Right.
And the other thing, which we keep talking about, people typically move to Florida when they retire or when they're kind of just on that last quarter of their life or last third of their life, right? If they have a 3.5% interest rate,
Yeah, there it is.
what do you think? You think they're going to move?
I'll put up with the snow for a little bit longer.
You can buy a lot of snow blowers.
Yeah, right.
Actually, you can hire a lot of people
It's right.
for the difference in that
You
payment.
double pretty much.
Exactly.
now.
So it's just, I think it's something there. And Texas obviously was inundated with a lot of people coming from California, different areas trying to get a different type of life, and Louisiana, of course. That one there. But the rest of the country, and pretty much, I brought this up at our last sales meeting. The whole East Coast, except for Florida, is actually still booming, and Northeast and Mid Atlantic doing great.
Unreal. I think
We still have
I think we're
major
I think
inventory.
we're the highest, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Highest
Mid-Atlantic.
percentage. Yeah. That this area here is still really, really hurting on inventory.
Yeah. Right.
So so I just thought it was
So
interesting.
define Mid-Atlantic again. That was
Mid-Atlantic is
everything
always,
north of.
I always thought we were Northeast in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
but we're really not. We're kind of on that in between Mid-Atlantic
Yeah.
and Northeast.
Right.
So anything from, I would say, New Jersey, Pennsylvania on up is Northeast.
Yeah.
And then like Mid-Atlantic would be Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware. Virginia, those areas.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I have a friend realtor in Alexandria, and they are just killing it. And I was surprised because we talked about there was an inventory boost there with the government changeover. You know, with the new president's regime coming in, and she said hasn't affected it one bit. They absorbed 4,500 listings.
Wow. 4,500.
4,500, and it's back to wacky land.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I said, dude, are you serious? She goes, yeah, we absorbed it up. There was so much pent up demand.
Really, really crazy.
Yeah, that's how much the pent up demand was down there. It's kind of crazy, right?
So nationwide,
Yeah.
home prices are up year over year, March. Okay, these numbers are a little lagging because it takes a while till they get these numbers together, but it's 2.4% year over year in March, and that's still going up. Our area,
Is that national?
that's national.
Okay.
Our area is in the where was that at again? It was in like the 4 or 5 to 6 range.
Yep.
So it just shows you in this area, you definitely want to jump in if you can. But it's hard because some people can't get the house they want.
Well, it's based on that last one I just told you about with the first 4 months of the year. And from last year at this time, it was 5.7% increase.
Wow.
From that same price, that time frame.
Yeah.
Same time frame, yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That's average. That's average
average.
sale price. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think pretty much that's what they're saying is going to happen. So it said here for Berks County, it remains a seller's market, obviously. There are more buyers, obviously, than there are homes. There's limited inventory, which we have an issue with, or a challenge here in Berks County. They are working on that on a chamber level. I know even Habitat for Humanity is working on the inventory issues. There's a lot of things that they're trying to do to get inventory to come back, but we need builders, we need developers, and then we need common sense growth on a township level.
Oh, we do.
Right?
That mall needs to be repurposed.
Yeah, that mall needs to go.
They got to fill in the hole and repurpose that big boy.
They got rid of the fence, though.
The fence is gone.
The fence is gone, right, Hugo? I think they got rid of the fence that was around the mall.
Did they fix the sinkholes?
No, they just let people go in them.
Oh, okay.
It helps the population.
Yeah,
it helps keeping the population down. There's like 40 people at the bottom of the
pets,
sinkhole.
cars.
Well, then you don't need as many houses. It helps the inventory issue. The more sinkholes, the better.
It was the strangest thing. If you really took a look at that, it was like sinking over here, and sinking over there, and sinking around there. It's like, what the? It's so
if you're not
weird.
from this area, we have a mall called the Berkshire Mall, and that mall has been around since the 1970s, and it's kind of depressed.
Yeah.
And at one point, and we're just kind of explaining, at one point they found sinkholes.
Yeah.
And they were big.
Big ones.
Big ones.
Yeah, truck size, just,
And we are called Sinking Spring around here. That's the name of the town. But, this was a proof of it. The mall. So they had to fence the whole most of the parking lot, which really didn't help the business of the mall. Because now people thought the place was like gated up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I thought that.
I thought that too, and I even knew what happened.
But boy, I tell you what, that middle ponton would be an amazing two-story condo.
You could do all kinds of stuff. So repurposing is a big thing for growth or for getting the inventory back to where it needs to be. Yeah. Everybody says, "Well, I get happy now when I see apartment buildings going up," and they're like, "Why? You don't get anything from that?" Yes, I do. Yeah, because the people that move into there are probably selling their house.
Exactly.
Or because a lot of times
they're going to buy eventually.
Or they're going to buy eventually. Yeah. But it helps the housing issue. Mm-hmm. Because that $4.5 million doesn't mean it has to be home ownership. Right. It just we need places people live. Housing.
Just period. Housing, period.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a couple of big old mills and buildings around here that have been repurposed.
Yes, and they're beautiful.
The Catherine Street with the old Dolphin factory and Narrow Fabric over the outlets and stuff like that. Metropolitan is done. Yeah, it's just, there's a lot of like that. It's just we need more of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely we do. Yeah. And then the other thing, obviously, is the mortgage rate impact. That's really that's been the steroid to the problem of housing, of inventory, because we had an inventory problem before. Yeah. But then all of a sudden rates went up, which made sellers not sell.
Right.
Before we just had an inventory problem because of whatever. Yeah. But now it's people just don't want to move because they don't want to get a rate away from their rate.
If the interest rates were still in the 3 to 4 range,
we'd be fine.
But I think people would be upgrading. They'd be moving up. They'd be doing more of that, right?
But do you think prices would be even higher?
Yeah.
Probably would.
I do.
Yeah.
I think it would be absolute chaos.
If the rates go to 3.5, it's the end of the world. We're just going to say it right here. So we cannot.
As people it.
That's a song, isn't it? We should make a song. What do you think?
Right,
yeah. I think it's been done already.
Yeah, I think so.
But the other things too, there's here recent trends and conditions that talk about the interest rates, home price growth, pricing itself. Mm-hmm. There's another situation where you have a group of people that can't afford rent or a house.
That's right.
That's a situation.
That's a problem, man.
It is a problem because it's not like you don't want to be somewhere.
Right.
It's that the prices have gone up faster than income. And the other problem with that is I had Habitat for Humanity and NHS were in here. Workforce issues.
Saw that. Yeah.
Workforce issues. Because what's happening is if you don't have blue collar or whatever you want to call it, or, people making $26, $30 an hour, whatever it is, if you don't have a place for them to live, they're going to the next county.
That's it. So
this county has a challenge on workforce.
That's right.
Because all of a sudden you have companies now going, we have nobody to hire.
Right.
It's a problem.
It's a real problem.
Yeah. So guess what happens then? Wages have to go up.
Yeah.
Because if people are going to travel from one county to the next to work here, they got to pay for gas.
Might as well just come here.
Yeah. We got the answers for everything.
We do.
Here. I'll tell you
really
what, man. Jesus. If you're not watching this show. Yeah.
Hey, I hope you commissioners are watching this show. Michael, Christian.
I saw them last night, actually.
Huh?
Yeah, I saw them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I see them all the time. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good.
They're always all over the place.
So let's talk about this whole, we're going to try something new here. I actually have an ability now to show a graphic. And I'm hoping it works. So can you show the graphic, Hugo, that we have? Ooh. Now for people, there it is. So for people that are listening to this in their car or on their walk or whatever they're doing, the recession does not mean falling prices.
Right.
We wanted to separate the two. Mm-hmm. We talked about this in our sales meeting, is that everybody thinks that when you have a recession, and now we're not saying that we want a recession. We're not saying that at all. Let's preface it with that. But on the graph here, what's interesting is it shows when there was a recession, many times the house prices went up.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think people always think, recession, that's going to be a bottom out of the market. The houses are going to plummet. The only time that was the case was in 2008, where it went down 19% in value.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of the recessions actually did pretty well.
Yeah. 91 went down a little bit.
Like a little bit.
And also, if you remember, unfortunately, I remember these. Sorry.
Yeah. Hence the gray hair.
Why did I just go there?
Yeah.
The severity of those recessions were something also.
Yeah.
The real estate market survived they were mild. There were recessions, but 8 was a big one.
Yeah.
And I want to keep reminding people that was not a real estate recession. That was a lending crisis.
And that was over inventoried.
That was over inventory. Yeah. And that thing
opposite.
It took 10 years to take bite.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It started in 1998.
It took 10 years.
The slow effects of 103% of your house value getting loaned and stuff like that snowballed into 08 and it crashed.
Well, if you think about it, everybody moves 7 to 10 years. That's like an average.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the reason it took 10 years is because the amount of people that bought in that 10 years at a 105%, 110% value of mortgage, that's why it caught up.
It caught up.
So all of a sudden in 10 years, the majority of the people that were living in their homes were underwater.
Underwater.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly it.
Yeah.
That's boom.
And all of a sudden, when there was just a little bit of a recession, the housing market took it down like an anchor was onto a whatever, like a inner tube.
Yep.
Just took it down to the bottom. Took it down to the bottom.
And do you know why that's impossible to happen now? I'm going to say the word. I'm going to say it's impossible.
Yeah.
Two reasons. One, the lending regulation.
Good thing he said it.
I'm saying you can mark it. You can mark it down.
Yeah.
The lending requirements have changed to the better.
Yep.
So they're not doing that crap anymore.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And the other thing is, since over the last 5 years, 57% it was your gain in value over the last 5 years.
Yeah. It's
So
amazing.
you are so equity rich. If you get into trouble, sell your house and you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know, that's
you didn't even have enough cash to live in a hotel for a little bit.
Right.
Until you can find a rental or something.
My record is 2010 or I think it was either 9 or 10. These poor people came to the settlement table. This is a seller. Came with $60,000 check.
Yeah, I remember those times.
A $60,000 check just to get out of it.
I saw 10, 15, 20. 30. I saw those.
I was like, dude, just throw the keys on the counter and let the process.
And now buyers are given 10, 15, $30,000.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other swing.
It's amazing.
You've heard 60.
It's amazing.
You heard 100 over asking.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yeah, so we got another graph here.
And the only similarity, the only thing that the thread that is what? Inventory.
Inventory. That's exactly right. Well, supply and demand.
Yep.
It works.
It's all that.
It works.
Yep.
So we have another one
Why
here.
do we even have the show? We don't.
I don't
need
know.
us.
Yeah, it's so easy.
It's just inventory.
So easy. Let's just use the 8 ball is what we should do, and we'll have everything solved. So the next one here, recession means falling mortgage rates too.
Yes.
So
sir.
like I said, we're not cheering on a recession. We're not. I'm trying to ease any concerns or anything that's doom and gloom about the real estate market. Because typically, when there's a recession, I shouldn't say typically, always, every recession since 1980, it shows on this graph,
That's it.
rates have gone down during the recession.
It's every one.
We don't want a recession, but that's the effect, that there's good things that happen if by chance we do go into a recession.
Right, but do people understand why that happens? Why do interest rates go down during a recession? It's inflation.
Inflation.
Yeah, and it's the hedge against inflation.
You got that right.
So that's why it goes down. It makes common sense.
It all balances out.
It brings the recession back to nothing again.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing. Don't be crazy about the recession stuff, and because I don't think it's not going to happen. I don't think, and it's not really a bad thing in real estate. No. So if it does recede a little bit, don't think you're going to lose your house. You're going to have all these things are going to happen. It shouldn't. It should be okay.
Go back to that a second. Here you go. So. I'm going to tell you guys, 1980, I just graduated high school. In 81, I was a freshman in college, getting my degree in real estate. And my dad was in real estate. And that 81 was the year it went from like 20% to 15. There's that 5% drop.
Right.
Because that was a recession that was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
And look at that. I can remember that like it was yesterday. It went from 20 to 15.
It seems like the worse the recession, the more the rate went down. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah, it is. Well, because that happens to spur on growth.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly.
And it worked.
Yeah, exactly. Worked. So rates are around they have come back a little bit. They're around 6.75, 6 point.
I saw 6.5 this morning.
6.5, wow,
which was the lowest I've seen in a while.
Yeah, so. It was up again at 7 not too long ago.
It was
a little bit over. It's crazy.
It's so exciting.
It's like it's exciting. It's exciting.
This is so exciting.
Not what I'm thinking, but okay. Oh my God, it's character building. It's character.
If you love a roller coaster ride,
yes. So what else? Do you have anything else?
With people getting their houses on the market this time of year, I know we just came out of that busiest. They said it was the number one time that people put their homes on the market. But I don't know about you, but I'm getting more calls now.
Yeah. Well, the rates were high in April.
Boom.
Yeah.
Your asking price still has to be compelling.
Yeah.
You can still overprice your home.
Absolutely.
This isn't a pie in the sky. I'll slap any price I want on my house and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to get 5 bidding, people bidding against it and go 20, 30 over that.
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
No.
actually never has really. You can still always overprice your house. Okay,
in any market you can.
But just keep that in mind right now, because you can go crazy.
You want to put it at the price that's going to get you the best final price.
Exactly.
You want to list it at the price that's going to get you the best final price.
Yeah, put it at a number where with your realtor, put it at a number that's going to create the most compelling interest, so people can come along and maybe get into a bidding war for you and make sure you get an appraisal gap and all that. But that's, I just wanted to make that point, because people are thinking they're pie in the sky right now. Yeah. No,
I agree with you 100%. And I'm seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of overpricing. Like I said, that one house, they're going to hate me. But so I want to bring this up. It is, but by the way, I'm not actually getting anything, but I got to say, these guys were in here in the studio. It's Bro Glow. I would say Glow Bro.
They were
Bro Glow. They're funny as could be. Check out the episode. But they were on Shark Tank, and I gotta say, I'm using this stuff. I love it. It's a self tanner for the boys. Is actually the phrase. Self tanner for the boys. It is really good.
Yeah.
And what's nice is this time of year, you don't want to look like Casper when you go outside. Do you know what Casper is? The ghost, the friendliest ghost in town. Okay, just making sure you knew what that was, because sometimes Hugo doesn't get my humor. He just looks at me like I'm nuts. So this stuff's amazing. They were on Shark Tank, and I just love it. So if you're looking for Bro Glow, there it is. Look it up, go online, and if you do go in, they were nice enough to give me a code for my friends and listeners. You put in the discount code BRADW, and you get 10% off.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's great stuff.
So it's a natural tanner.
Yeah, it's a natural tanner.
It's not like that orange thing.
No. Yeah. This is actually.
I saw the result.
It reacts with the enzymes. And stuff. Yeah. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I met a little guy once that I asked him, "Hey, what's your name?" And he said, "Oh, my name is Tanner." And I said, "No, I am." But he didn't get it.
He didn't get it. That's a dad joke.
No, I am. Oh, totally a dad joke. Yeah, totally a dad joke. Yeah, so that's it. All right. Is there anything else? You have anything else you want to talk about?
You must have been really pale, because
I was. Well, these lights too tend to, I'm a little tanner now. I don't know. Maybe
you are tanner.
Tanner. Yeah. All right. I don't know why I talked to him about this stuff at all. Unbelievable. All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Pete.
Thank you, bro.
We'll see you again next month.
Bet.
Make sure you bring all kinds of stuff. I appreciate it. Yeah. Awesome. All right. There you have it. Pete Heim here every month. He's not too impressed with the Bro Glow, but that's all right.
That's good.
I like it. And Tanner likes it. So, what the hell? All right. We'll see you next Thursday, 7 p.m. All right. Thanks for listening. Hey guys, this is Brad Weiman from The Brad Weiman Show. I don't know if you remember this, but a couple months ago, I had these 3 guys on. They have a company called Bro Glow. Well, I have to tell you, I've been using their product now for several months, and I really, really like it. It gives you a nice tan. It's not orange. It's not blotchy. It's very, very even. They tell you how to apply it, and my mom and dad are using it. My wife is using it, and a lot of my friends are using it. It's an amazing product. So if you're looking to get a little tan before the summer hits, this is the way to go. Go to thebroglow.com, put in the discount code BRADW for 10% off. All right. Thanks for watching the show.